Welcome to the news. The South Florida branch of the American Panel of Hospital Certification presented its Space Efficiency Award of the Year at its 18th Annual Congress, held in Big Bob's Motel and Conference Room, located in the Hourly Rate District in the Overtown section of Miami. The Space Efficiency Award is given to the organization or business that makes the stingiest use of its available room. The winner of this year's competition was the Miami-Dade Medicare Hospital in Hialeah, whose administrators pride themselves by squeezing the maximum out of their employees while providing them with minimal resources to fully accomplish their mission of compassionate, dignified care of the sick, the old, the infirm, their widows and widowers, their orphans, their aunts, their uncles, cousins, nieces, nephew, and children, and just about anybody else with a gold standard wraparound Medicare health insurance policy. Dr. Ray Greenberger, CEO and Medical Chief of Staff, shown here, seized the moment and the award in his characteristically understated manner by intimating that such a coup is possible by, quote, slowly and methodically adjusting the attitude of the workforce to match that of their ownership, that is, their administrators, by mandating participation in dull, meaningless, demoralizing, continuing education programs that are used to break the will and the open-mindedness of its workforce, unquote. For the considerable amount of employees unable to read or write at the Miami-Dade Medicare Hospital in Hialeah, in lieu of continuing education programs, they are given big shovels to dig really deep holes in the ground and immediately fill them in afterwards to accomplish the same purpose. Calling it its mind wash technique, the Miami-Dade Medicare Hospital Associate Director Louise G. Ladernowski highlighted how its mind washed is used to cow employees to enforce management space requirements in one of the several departments she oversees. She used its orthotic prosthetic department as an example. Ladernowski said, quote, size matters, and we give them none of it. The administrators put the squeeze on them in there, as we do in many other places. And if they complain, well, it's time to adjust our attitudes once again, unquote. The orthotic prosthetic lab at the Miami-Dade Medicare Hospital in Hialeah is comprised of 6 areas: the patient waiting area, the patient fitting rooms, the practitioner and clerk work area, the stock rooms, the manager's office, and the machine room. Spaces exploited by Associate Director Ladernowski in many of the following ways. For example, the patient waiting area is commonly known as a hallway in most other buildings. Seating is available on one side of the very narrow hallway. If it was provided on both sides, those waiting would be in each other's faces, like this. Instead, a television is placed on the opposite side of the hall to make the narrow environment more or less tolerable. Occasionally, just occasionally, there's something more than just a test pattern on its screen. The clerk's window and the lab practitioner work area is at the end of the narrow hallway. And there's no buffer between the employees and their waiting, anxious to go home patients. It's almost like the employee work area is an appendage of the hallway, with one overlapping into the other. Quote, it's just another way to exploit space, unquote, Ladernowski says. So, when employees aren't bumping into one another or walking into opening drawers or being hit with opening doors, they try to focus at the task at hand while averting the anxious eyes of those in the hallway, peering through the clerk's window, trying to get their attention so they could get attended to and leave. Draftsman designed the patient fitting room at the Miami-Dade Medicare Hospital in Hialeah to be no larger than a closet, almost claustrophobic if the doors are closed. So it's especially stressful for the practitioner if the patient needs to undress in the cramped phone booth-like room. So the entrance door stays half open, exposing the half-naked patient to the outside world, just for the sake of keeping the sanity of both the practitioner and a patient in a room that can get as cramped and crowded as a New York City subway car during rush hour. CEO and Chief Medical Officer Ray Greenberger bragged that one of the stockrooms in the O&P lab there has a 3-for-1 utility option. That is, it triples as a stockroom, as a fitting room, and also as a practitioner workstation. He said, quote, "It's a real economy of savings. Never mind its somewhat warehouse appearance," unquote. Lastly, one staple of any orthotic prosthetic department, that is parallel bars, is something that the risk assessors at the Miami-Dade Medicare Hospital in Hialeah state that it can do without. Parallel bars just take up precious room, and who knows, may have made the difference between winning this prize and becoming a runner-up. They said that those who are crippled by stroke or who have lost limbs due to diabetes or to trauma will just need to be a little bit more judicious about their lifestyle choices. And so it may as well start here and now. Besides that, they said, if somebody really needs to use parallel bars, they just need to go the extra mile, literally, to the physical therapy department. There's no sense at all about being redundant about safety. And that's the way it is with the Miami-Dade Medicare Hospital in Hialeah and its administrators, CEO and Chief Medical Officer Ray Greenberger, and its Associate Director Louise G. Ladernowski, winners of the American Panel of Hospital Certification Space Efficiency Award in South Florida for 2011. This is Gordon Zernich with Walking Dead Witness News. Have a better tomorrow. Good night.